Well, hello everyone. Welcome to Michael's Musings. I am Michael A. Jacob, author of Gender Shifter Social Sci-Fi with a bit of romance and a touch of gore. And this is going to be part 3 of my life lessons from the book 1, Origins. It's part of my Curve of Reality series. And despite my attempts to not preach in my stories, apparently that happened. So yeah, we're gonna take a look. This series was kind of like my passion. It's 25 years in the making, and it started it started me thinking. Asking questions like, how do we define humanity, and what does it mean to be human? And we're an extremely flawed species, but we're trying. These videos are like, they're short and sweet, to the point, because book 1 has 14 chapters, and I don't want either of us getting bogged down with like too much detail. So we're gonna dive into segment 3, chapter 3. This one kind of hurt a little bit, but it's something that we kind of should talk about. So in chapter 3, we have the aliens who started this whole mess show up, and of course all of us, it's like, oh yeah, we can handle ourselves. And one of the aliens says, oh, you fought an alien warrior race before, huh? And you kind of, no, not quite. So that's where human arrogance comes in, because sometimes we tend to make assumptions and not take time to find the right answer when it comes to society and how we act towards each other. So the reason why the alien says this, is because humans seem to be, oblivious to the universe. I mean, we know it's out there. We just don't see it for what it is. We are not the only, well, in my opinion, we are not the only planet with life on it in the entire universe. That's not how that works. I find it fascinating that humans believe this, with billions of planets around. And I do hint at this with the debunking of Roswell, followed by, the alien crash landing in chapter 1. Irony. Too many sci-fi movies depict humans winning the battle against an unknown alien race. Like in chapter 2, during the recon fight demonstration, we kind of get put in our place. The aliens show us, how they fight, and we're looking like pretty much, cavemen with sticks compared to them. I make a point of showing just how wrong that theory is. Forget about space combat. Compared to, beings who can actually withstand space travel, like long distance, not just to the moon. We're a fragile species. We wouldn't make it. So, adopting alien technology, that has been a dream for so many scientists. And in chapter 4, I know I'm getting ahead of myself, regarding one of our new weapons we've created with alien technology, the aliens are like looking at it going, wow. And one turns to the other and goes, did you see that pitiful cannon shot from Earth's surface? Because our technology is not exactly, it's not exactly that advanced if you think about it. In the story, you have world leaders listening to a panel of scientists with hard facts. In reality, hits the world leaders dead in the face, essentially making that dream kind of null and void, at least for the next 100 years. I believe we should advance technology with our own resources first. my personal opinion. Instead of, adopting, oh, look, alien technology, let's try and, combine it with ours. And that's where a lot of bad experiments happen. Also, in A Beautiful Ugly Mess, we have General Hoskins, who I wrote him, and yes, he's an awful person. But he lands he has it's a land to space missile. And the sort of bomb that comes out of this thing is kind of a failure. And even with the failure, he's basically like, admonishing his naysayers. He's hurling like a newly created, thing that does one thing fairly well. It makes the alien enemy angry. That's pretty much all it does. It's like, you go to a lung fight and you have a super soaker. That's my analogy. And when his naysayers, it's like, look, you've made a big old mess. He goes, he says he's very much a patriot. He says, you're Americans, for God's sakes. Show some pride. And pride has nothing to do with it. It's his arrogance, which reflects among a lot of, us. So what goes hand in hand with arrogance? Human arrogance? As I said, the patriotism, like I said, it's a touchy subject because of the atmosphere that is going on currently. You see it in every country around the world. Actually, it's not just in America. This patriotism. The United States was once known as a superpower, but that consensus, has dwindled over the decades. I mean, I'm not ashamed of my country, only a tad disappointed. Well, okay, a lot disappointed. Let's be clear. There are some who still believe, and most times end up making a donkey of themselves, because that's part of human arrogance as well. So, I mean, what's the lesson here? Knowledge is power. There's no need for arrogance, and humility is a virtue. Get your learn on. There's no reason for that. Be humble. No one likes an egomaniac. Idolaters need not apply. I think that's enough said. That's basically the gist of this lesson. Or that lesson. So, that's it. I probably rambled on a little bit, but it's short and sweet. Well, maybe not so sweet this time. But I love debates. Just good ones. Feel free to comment. I love honest feedback. Ask questions. As they say in Star Trek, engage. I only ask that you be respectful and don't spam. So for the next video, I think I'm going to go with compassion in the face of prejudice. Stay in the same vein of things. So if you want to check out my work, you can mosey on over to my website. It should be posted down below, but it's www.michaelajacob.com. Thanks for watching. And I'll see you next video. And may the universe grant all that you desire. Bye.